Hello, everyone. This is Tom, your host for the Hidden Truths channel. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're doing well. Well, this evening's live stream, we're going to go over government gone wild. This ought to be a good one. Anyway, tell you what, I sure appreciate all the subscribers that I got on YouTube and stuff. It's sure helping out to get the word out. I mean, I did a short today with me singing to Daddy's Coming Around to Mama's Way of Thinking, but I'm coming up with new lyrics for the song. And I came up with, played the chorus. Anyway, this is how bad it's getting. You got this jarhead. I used to have a singing voice when I was in high school. Actually, it was in choir and stuff. But all that yelling in the Marine Corps kind of took care of all that, right? But yeah, when I'm singing on YouTube on my channel to get the message across, okay, that's things are pretty bad. Gotta have some fun on YouTube. So if you can watch it, enjoy it. It's a cute little thing. And when I get all the lyrics written out, probably do that tonight, tomorrow. But if not tomorrow, the next day. What's today, Monday or Tuesday? So by Thursday, Friday for sure, I'll have it out. So anyway, it ought to be pretty good. You know, YouTube's about entertainment too. You can't get it, to get the message across in an entertaining way, people will remember it more. Especially if you can come up with lyrics to a song that everybody that just dances in their head. Anyway, I never knew I could write lyrics for songs, but that just shows you how tough things are getting. Lucky, hey, Faith, hi, how's it going? Appreciate y'all being here. Yeah, we're gonna have we're gonna get into the subject here in just a little bit. Have a few more people in, but government gone wild. That's what we're talking about tonight. So love your channel. Keep it going. Oh, I'm gonna keep it going. Believe me, Lucky. I ain't giving up. They couldn't throw nothing at me that would make me, unless they bring the FBI or FBI out here to shoot me down. Okay, whether we got the OK Corral thing going on here, I'm on the losing side, but whatever. Like I say, I took an oath to the Constitution, and that oath was also to my fellow American. And it doesn't matter that I'm not in the Marine Corps no more. I still have the skills and the experience, okay, and the ability. So anyway, we got some people showing up now. Let's get in the subject, okay? And I want everybody to know, I am sick and tired of getting on here and bashing Trump, okay? It's like I didn't mind bashing Biden. Like I said, I got one of my channels buried under YouTube because of that. But I voted for Trump, all right? But let's talk about, anybody see that press conference that they held in the cabinet room today? Some of that's getting, some of that Trump talking is getting hard to deal with. It's like listening to somebody, like he was like, I did this and I did that and I ended 7 wars, and this list of things, everything he did. Like, in high school, somebody just bragging all their accomplishments. And the thing is, Trump, he's got an ego, that's for sure. But hi, just scrolling. Hey, not a problem. Thank you for stopping by and help my analytics out by leaving a comment. I appreciate it. Anything to help the channel grow and help the truth get out. So that's what I must say. Hey, if you're here, if you want to support the channel, hit the thumbs up, the subscribe, and the bell notification. Help this channel grow. Okay, I don't sell anything. I'm not an infomercial. I don't take donations. I don't think you should have to pay to hear the truth. Okay, just sub. Yeah, I appreciate it. Anyway, if you do not want Trump, then who else? Also, I'm not sure it's ego if he's being honest. Come on, guys. I mean, he's not, no. It's starting to look conceited. But that's what happens when everybody's telling you you're doing such. Anyway, like I say, look, the lists don't exist, he could walk on water. Until that people on that list start getting arrested, he could walk on water still. It ain't going to prove nothing to me. Okay? But anyway, listening to him, and I'm if I upset Trump supporters, I don't know what to tell you. I upset Biden supporters, and nobody had a problem with that. I support America, American citizens. All right? That's who I support. American citizens, no matter what color they are, what nationality they are, what they do in their bedroom, what gender they are, I don't care. I'm going to tell it the way it is. I'm not going to look through the red lens or the blue lens and think that's the way I see America. I look through the lens that the founding fathers saw America. Okay? So that's why, and I'm done hearing Trump's the best president ever. George Washington was, always will be, the most humble president we've ever had was George Washington. You can be rich and still be a humble man. Anyway, hey J99, how's it going? Hey, did you watch that singing short I did? I can't wait to come up with the rest of the lyrics for that song. I came up with those lyrics in about 2 minutes. I figure I could come up with the rest of them in a couple days, huh? But that's how bad it's getting. This jarhead is not singing in formation anymore. I'm singing on YouTube. God help us all. But I'm sure some people will remember. Anyway, let's get into a couple things the Intel thing. You know, he says that the CEO of Intel, who he didn't like at first, came into the Oval Office and just decided when he came into the Oval Office that he was going to give the federal government 10% of his company. That's insanity. I mean, should the stockholders sit there and approve something like that? But I'm supposed to believe that bullshit? And then he liked him afterwards. What, did he get the old shakedown? God, I mean, that just looks bad and sounds bad. Okay, our government is not supposed to own any percentage of any business. I mean, what can it possibly lead to? Okay, and $11 billion. Intel just gave the U.S. government $11 billion for nothing. Who believes this? The old shakedown happened in the White House. What is somebody else collecting his 10% now? I never even thought of that till now. Somebody else collecting their 10% now? One question, do you support LGBTQA? You know what? I don't want to know about it. If that's the first thing you got to tell me about yourself, we probably aren't going to get along because I don't care. Do you want me to sit there and tell you what I do in my bedroom? You know, when I grew up, that used to stay in the closet. You can be whatever you want. All I got to do is say to your community, you guys want a democracy? The democracy is majority rules. And you guys are about 0.5% of the population. You want to stick with our constitutional republic. Because in a constitutional republic, you can live the way you want. As long as you're not breaking no laws. So a constitutional republic will protect your lifestyle, no matter what anybody thinks about it. But a democracy, what do you think is going to happen then? Just something for your political group to think about. You don't want to be the minority when a democracy takes over. Okay? Did I answer that good enough? I don't care is what I'm saying. I don't freaking care. But you flash it in my face, we're going to have a problem because I like to judge people on how hard they work, on how good they are on the inside. If you got to put a freak show on in front of me, I'm going to walk away. Okay? But I realize you got freedom of choice in this world. It's one thing God gave you is freedom of choice. And you also got to pay the consequences for that choice. Okay? Do you agree with the Second Amendment? Yes, I do. Because the Second Amendment, okay, when the Second Amendment was written, it was after we had a war with the tyrant. And when Thomas Jefferson is saying that the tree of liberty needs to be watered with the blood of patriots, tyrants and patriots every 20 years, I don't think he's using the Second Amendment for hunting or home invasion. I just don't think that's what he was talking about. Being a Marine, hell yeah. Like I say, I'm trying to call up the well-regulated militia in this country, and that would be all us vets. I firmly believe in the Second Amendment. If everybody's armed, if we were, like I say, if I was allowed to carry my sidearm everywhere, let's say you walk into a convenience store, right? And you got 5 guys in there, all carrying their sidearm. I hate this carry and conceal shit. Don't conceal it. You carry it so they can see it. Somebody walks into that store, thinks they're going to rob it. They see you with a gun on your hip. Do you think they're going to do it? They're going to exit that place. But the thing is, you need to be trained. And do you think you're going to have home invasions and stuff like that? Crime in the streets when everybody can protect themselves? I mean, do you hear that story about that 14-year-old girl in Scotland that's facing charges now for carrying a weapon, a blade, because she had to pull out a knife and a hatchet, I guess, to protect her 12-year-old sister and her from a 28-year-old person that likes the term Aloha snack bar, if you know what I mean. And this guy's filming this shit. All I know is at 14, if she's carrying that shit around in Scotland where she knows it's against the law, that means I know that 14-year-old girl had been harassed before by these people. Okay? Yeah, I definitely believe in the Second Amendment. It's to keep tyrants at bay. The thing is, it's a miracle given to us by God through the founding fathers. Okay? We still got to have the will to use that miracle. And, like I say, I'm trying to organize, get my fire team together, but I'm even having a hard time finding 3 guys that will, with me, that will stand up. Okay? Crazy in this world. Of course, like I say, I ain't got a lot of people to choose from, but, these strapping young men and men in their 40s and stuff that are strong, that are healthy, that would be good at that, don't want to do it. I prefer not having my firearm visible because it's no one's business if you have a firearm. But I think people should be able to do exactly. You should be able to do what you prefer. But I'm just saying, me, visible. I want to be a deterrent to a thief. That way, maybe I don't have to shoot his ass. Okay? And being in the military, I'm always used to having my guns at the ready. Just the way I am. So anyway, but let's get back to this 10% of Intel, okay? So the CEOs of Intel just walks in there and say, hey, Trump, yeah, we're going to give you 10% of the company. Here's $11 billion that my shareholders. What a bunch of crap. Now, I would say it's probably time to buy stock in Intel, because since the government owns 10% of it, that means they can legislate shit and make Intel even more profitable, bigger than Bill Gates. I can't believe this shit's going on. Now, I haven't really heard much from the mega from this. And I'm not mega and I'm not a liberal. I'm a constitutional conservative. Constitutional conservative. I see the country through the lens of the founding fathers, not through the lens red or a blue lens. It's not me. So I can see YouTube slamming down on my channel again tonight. I really don't care. I ain't going to give up YouTube. There's no way in hell. Basically, the Marine Corps turned me into the frickin' Terminator. Hey, your tax dollars paid for it. Enjoy it. Okay. Anyway, yeah, now they can just pass legislation like crazy to make. I'm just curious. Within the next 2 weeks, how many politicians have shares in Intel? If anybody can get that information, that'd be information that would be interesting to find out. Anyway, but yeah, probably a good time to buy stock. Because you know that stock's always going up. Sunny Sports, block. Just a second, Sunny. Okay, I made you a moderator. Block this miner. No miners are allowed. What miner? What miner? Block which one? Yeah, Sonny, which one? I made you a moderator. Sonny, you're a moderator. You block who I'm talking about. You and I need to have a talk, Sonny. Okay? I don't know if you messaged me. Tom, go on with your show. Okay. Anyway. So where are we at now? Oh, and then Trump's talking about, right? He's talking about how the U.S. is getting rich. Did you hear all that? How the U.S. is basically making money hand over fist, even if we don't see it. Yeah, I would say the average American is not seeing money being made hand over fist. And then he said it's just going to get better. More money coming in. Well, I realize that everybody's pouring their, squeezing every penny out of us. But are you kidding me? That's like that time when I ran a turkey insemination crew. And I was the one that was basically responsible for how much money they made. Well, I was responsible. A lot of responsibility on one person in a multi-million dollar business. In my first flock that I did, the owner of the place was dancing around me saying he had never made so much money on a flock before. Yeah, that literally happened. I mean, I got paid good. I'm not denying that. But, that was bullshit. But that's Trump. Yeah, maybe you Americans don't see it yet. Yeah, I would say we don't see it yet because we're paying for it. And then he's going to strengthen the IRS. So they bring in more money. Oh, I don't even know where to go with some of this shit. Okay. But yeah. Anyway, what do I got here? Oh, and then with the military in the street, right? I'm going over the press conference, some of the stuff that come to mind, when he was talking about the troops in the streets and you feel safer. And I don't know, the one reporter they're talking about carrying a gun and stuff. And then Trump, said rather cryptically, well, it'll be so safe you don't need to carry a gun. You won't need to carry a gun. Now, I would not want to think that Trump and the administration would want to do a gun confiscation or try it. But I think they would try it. I mean, they're bringing the military to the streets. They're increasing the size of the military. They're increasing the size of federal agencies that deal with this type of stuff. He hasn't got rid of the FBI like he said he was going to. So, we'll see. I hope I'm wrong. Because I hope that would finally be the point where Americans would stand up and say, absolutely not. But I do believe there's a lot of people that would turn them in too, especially the ones that think, well, there's a higher plan that you just got to follow. You got people that are, higher up that know what's going on. Anybody believes that shit? Well, Trump basically said today everything changes day to day. But boy, they got this objected. They're flat out taking us over. Okay. But yeah, I hope we don't have gun confiscation. I know we're not going to have it out here. But like I say, it's getting hard for me to even get a fire team together here. A fire team that can physically handle it. Okay. A lot of these younger guys aren't willing to put their life, their fortune on the line to stand up for what's right. I mean, they'll listen to me, but the one guy I talked to today, I thought for sure I had him, and he goes, "Nah, I don't think so." He'd have been perfect. Have I been blocked? No, I don't block anybody, sir. I don't block anybody. Unless my monitors do. If you were on here being rude or whatever, sorry, I might. Okay, that's fine, Phil. Appreciate you showing up. Okay, I'm surprised you even got to come because YouTube's clamping down on me tonight. I guess almost at 1,000 subscribers. Almost at 1,000. I had 28 to go when I started this live stream. And I'm probably not going to make it tonight because they're not allowing my live stream to go. This is YouTube. This is the censorship. Tom, I will subscribe. I appreciate it. Pretty sad, Sonny. Yep. I appreciate you subscribing, like I say. And then also share my short. If you see a short that you think somebody you know would like, I got over 1,000 videos, people. Over 1,000. I got lots of content. Go to my shorts and share my shorts. There'll be a short there, believe me, that you'll know somebody that they'll like it, okay? Or they'll make them think. I do my shorts to make people think. Not to upset people, but it's upset people. I did a short one time about kids, raising kids. And I guess my girls told me that my ex-wife watched that and she bitched for 2 hours after that short. Pretty cool when your ex-wife watches your channel, huh? Yeah, I tell you what, Phil, share them. Share them. Let's get the word out, people. We need to, eventually everybody wakes up when it becomes bad enough for them, okay? But right now, Mega's got their candidate. I mean, why can I say that? Because Trump basically told me he don't need me, remember? I'm brainwashed. I believe in a hoax. And, if you believe in a hoax, the lists that don't exist, he don't need you. So when a president tells you that, basically, screw you. I don't need your vote no more. Okay? And I voted for him. Can you imagine what it was like for a Democrat that voted for him, that got kicked in the gut? Who would never vote Republican, and all of a sudden they vote Republican and they get kicked in the gut. Should it be crime to burn the American flag? Oh my goodness. This is almost like the abortion question. You got 6 one way, half a dozen the other. Oh, well, I must have sit there and get into it, right? Back when I first got out of the Marine Corps and I was in Minnesota, and it would have been like 95, I think, late 94, 95, maybe summer 94. And I was in Minnesota, and the flag burning stuff was coming up. And I called my congressman just getting out of the Marine Corps, and I was pissed. And he wrote me a letter back, pretty good for back then, and explained that, yes, he don't agree with it, but for the First Amendment, you got to give people the right. Is it just, I don't know. What's the difference? I guess they already burnt the goddamn Constitution, didn't they? The thing is, we don't need people in this country. You want to go to another country and burn the American flag, that's fine. But protesting, if you're like when they were burning the American flag during these ICE riot protests and shit. You're in America, dude. You came here because America was great, and you're going to burn the symbol of it? America didn't start out perfect. But we tried to correct our mistakes. I mean, slavery cost 600,000 people their lives, mainly white people, to correct the slavery issue. Okay? To make black men free, if that's what the Civil War was about, if it wasn't about states' rights. And now all they want to do is divide us by color. Here you get special rights because of the color of your skin and shit. A slave would come through time right now and jap slap these people that are saying they need reparation payments. Anyway, hi Amanda, how you doing? Appreciate you being here. But burning the American flag, go to another country and do it. I don't like seeing it done here. First Amendment, yeah, okay, it's your First Amendment right. It's also my First Amendment right to get on this platform, speak, air my grievances with the government and not be shadow banned or censored. That's also my First Amendment right. Is it being infringed on? Absolutely. Right, YouTube? I know what this channel's potential is. 20,000 views an hour. 100 subscribers in an hour. I know what this channel's potential is. You know why? Because everybody's getting tired of it. Man, I tell you what, out on TikTok, I have seen videos of millennials. They are really conservative. I'm really surprised. But these millennials trying to raise a family and stuff now, they're pissed. I mean, they want to blame us boomers and Gen X's because we had it easy when things were cheap, but we made $2.50 an hour, $3 an hour. It's just we didn't have the inflation we do now. How on earth could people burn the flag in our country that allows them freedom? A lot of countries they protect are the people protesting don't have the rights. I know, but see, if Americans do it, if you're a foreigner and you do it in this country, you should be kicked out immediately. If you're American and you do it, that's your right. But there are consequences to that. That means your neighbors should shun you. You should almost be banished from society, where society punishes you for going against the American people. Okay? Right? Shame them for doing it. That'd probably be the biggest. Exactly, I agree, Tom. Yeah. So yeah, I have the right to speak out here. Now, I have made mistakes like that one thing I talked about, after Lexington Concord, the Patriots surrounded Boston, not Philadelphia. Okay? There was so much stuff going through my mind. Like I say, I'm singing on YouTube. That's how bad things are. But interesting, I missed something there. Are you dictating anything by speaking, burning the flag? Yes. Are you dictating anything by speaking? Don't quite understand what you mean. How pedos hide behind the yeah, I tell you, we're being run. Our country has been taken over. I tell you what, who's ever here, watch my short I just put on about me singing. I'm singing now. Now I'm singing. That's how bad it is. And I got a song. I came up with those lyrics in about 2 minutes. I'm going to finish that song in the next day or so, and I'm going to have one killer song. I just need somebody to help me do some editing because I got some ideas on how I want to do it, and I need somebody that can sing. But whatever it gets to get it in people's heads. Okay? Autocratic. I don't, the thing is with Trump, like I say, it's getting really hard to listen to him when he's, I did this and I ended this war and the U.S. is ending wars that it's not even in. Really. Which brings us to our next subject, okay? He wants to change the Department of Defense back to the Department of War. And what did he say when a reporter asked him, doesn't that take the Congress action to do that? He goes, well, we'll just change it. They'll just accept it. Anyway, that sounds kind of tyrannical. You know, and then the thing with the burning the flag, okay? When I was talking to my congressman in the 90s, it was in Congress. The president just cannot sit there and write an executive order that affects all Americans. That's a king. See, you all think Trump's the best president ever? I like to say, they wanted to make George Washington king. He didn't want to run for a second term because he was ill health and didn't want to die in office so they could make him a god that he wasn't. But they wanted to make him king, and he said no. Do you think our current president would say something like that? We may wake up one day and just find out that we ain't having elections. Google, I can't read that. Yeah, Trump is all about it did this. It's getting hard to listen to him. Like I say, it's like listening to some high school wrestler brag his ass off. I mean, do the rest of us exist? Who paid for all the shit? God, do we get any credit at all? Ever? Like I say, you see that behind me? That's my retirement plan. And if this shit keeps up, it's going to happen a lot sooner than I expected. The thing is, if Biden would have been doing this, this is nuts. He talks about everything he's accomplished in 7 months. Yeah, it's beyond crazy. Now the government owns 10% of Intel. And then they're going to think about giving the American citizen a dividend. The government got $11 billion, and he's going to think about sharing some of it with the American citizen. Isn't that nice of him? At least they're going to think about it. I mean, these are his own words, because a reporter prodded him. Hey, are you going to give some to the taxpayer? Oh, yeah, we can think about that. Like I say, I voted for the man. But the man I voted for that was on the campaign trail is not the man in the White House. Joe Biden, the one that got elected president, is the one that was in the White House. This ain't the Trump that was working in the McDonald's drive-thru or in that garbage truck. Anybody remember that? Beyond crazy. Anyway, like I say, I'm trying to, hey, Strictly Cycling, glad to see you. Tell you what, I'm getting sick and tired of coming on here and talking about Trump. I may do one where I'm sitting in my pickup tomorrow night listening to music as the sun goes down. Like the first one we were watching, where I met you. Remember that? Anyway, okay, let's get to them changing the Department of Defense to the Department of War. I'm all for that. You know why? Because if we're going to call it the Department of War, let's treat it like it was when it was the Department of War. And you may ask, how was it treated? Oh, I'll give you an example. After wars, the military kind of basically disassembled to just the smallest, what it needed to be smallest to do the job, okay, in the United States. Not all over the seas. We downsized, okay, big time. We became a peacetime military, okay? And that way we had a peacetime military budget. I mean, we're technically at peace, right? I don't know of us being at war with any country. So our military should not have $1 trillion plus budget, should it? It should have a peacetime budget. I don't know. See, if we change it to the Department of War, that would basically get rid of the military industrial complex because we wouldn't be paying them no more. You see where I'm going with this, Trump? I agree with you, but it will be treated like the Department of War. And that means 12 carrier groups, gone. Now, if we go into heavy war, then we build up our military with men and material, just like we did in World War II. Crazy time. I mean, when we came out of that starting gate to prepare to fight World War II, we were the lead horse by far. Okay? Wouldn't that be cool? We're in war with, no, we aren't. I don't know any declared war. All right, got to get off here, and my kiddo's down in the bed. Keep speaking the truth, brother, and catch you next. Not a problem, Cody. I tell you what, I miss them days. My kids are all grown up, and they're having kids down there and 700 and some miles away, and enjoy those days because they'll be over before you know it. What was that one John Anderson song? I think it was John Anderson. It doesn't matter, I'm declared. In the Department of War, it only gets money if we got a declared war. Okay? I'm sick of this shit. He wants his way, but why do we need a Department of War? Because we need to start going to war with these countries, not defend ourselves against them. We need to take the war to them. Donald Trump has stated that watching his brother struggle with alcoholism and his father's disapproval of Fred's Jr. career crisis had a profound influence on his own life. Oh my God, he had to deal with alcoholism in his family. I didn't have to deal with that, but I had to deal with family members being hooked on meth that I had to go through. Okay? What about families that are losing their kids to fentanyl, Trump? Disapproval? Anybody grown up here, 50 or older, ever have the approval of their parents the way they were living up until after they started having kids? Anybody? Oh my God, that was so tough for a billionaire. Well, I grew up one of those poor, beyond poor, privileged white kids that got to get up and do chores in first grade at 4:30 in the morning before school and then do chores when I got home and stuff, and my homework and stuff. I was one of those kids. God, imagine if he would have had to deal with that. Just makes me have less respect for the man. Okay? Like I say, my life growing up sucked so bad that I escaped it to go to Marine Corps boot camp. And it was writing my recruiter how much fun I was having. Now, I don't think Donald Trump grew up that bad. Anyway, because he had to deal with alcoholism. Fuck that. We all deal with problems every day. What about the parents that girls are getting killed by illegals? Or families getting killed in car wrecks because of illegal, or people that should have definitely a truck license, CDL. Do you think Byron's going to ever have to worry about being kidnapped, or any of his grandkids are going to have to worry about being kidnapped and thrown into a van and awful things happen to them on the list that don't exist? Do you think any of his relatives are going to? No. Trump had it tough. They're all beta males. Every last one in D.C. is a beta male. And these beta males don't understand that no alpha or sigma male fears any beta male, no matter what position they hold. I mean, did you see that wuss soon-to-be New York mayor couldn't even bench 135 pounds? I did that in the 7th grade, people, without a spotter, okay? But I have been lifting weights since I was 12 years old. Anyway, crazy times. But strictly cycling, you may have to, when you get your new mayor, strictly cycling, you may have to send him an email so he can sit there and maybe do your workout program. That boy needs some help. Anyway, get in his ear and say, hey, what's going on here? What's going on? Adam, fighting economically is an oxymoron. Yeah. Taking money out, and then they're doing it with the money out of our pocket. Crazy times. Like I say, this intel, this is nothing but a money laundering goddamn shit. I guarantee you. It's going to be used as a money laundering deal. Our government, it's not allowed to own it's not allowed to do that. And Trump that's the way it's going to be from now on. Oh, yeah, thank you for bringing that up, Sonny. 60,000 Chinese students in our schools. That's just like the 50 million foreign workers we got here, taking jobs away from people like me who want to work agriculture. Now you're going to be taking education away from people that want to go to college. God, we're losing people. They're screwing our kids over every way. They don't care. And then they just take them off the street. My God. 55 million visas. 50 million work visas. 50 million. 50 million Americans that could be working, and we got foreigners in the jobs. This is beyond crazy, people. And then he's cutting social services for people. I'm not for social services, but jeepers cripes, if you're going to cut them off social services, they need to be able to get a job. And with 50 million foreign workers in here, even if they decided, hey, I need to get a job, it's going to be hard. And then I saw a thing on Walmart, how they're firing Americans to hire Indians, people from India. The U.S., the land of milk and honey that our forefathers and our descendants made for us, we're now in the fucking parlor and they got us bent over and they're milking the shit out of us. Let's be real here in truth. How do we revolt then? First, okay, one thing we're lacking is we're lacking a leader, okay? But until that leader comes, like I am doing, I am trying to form your Minuteman group, basically. You want to organize your group that at any call, they come calling. I'm trying to get that together. So whether we have the government, the Chinese, or whoever, the illegals coming down the street, you got your Minutemen. But you got to start out by talking to people. I thought I had somebody today, but a lot of people aren't willing to stand up. It's going to be hard. A lot of people are pissed off, but a lot of people aren't willing to act. A lot of people aren't willing to use that miracle that God gave us through the founding fathers called the Second Amendment. We all know it, but a lot of people don't have the will to use it. The thing is, you shouldn't want to. You're being forced to, especially if you have kids and grandkids. It's no longer about us, people. We've lived our lives, okay? There's nothing else we can do except go to war with this government to change the future of this nation. We're the ones that are getting put out the pasture. And the pasture we're getting put out is still greener than the pasture that the generation behind us is going to be put out in. Okay, but you need to organize. Start your fire teams. 4 guys in a fire team. Okay? 3 fire teams in a squad plus a squad leader. 3 squads in a platoon. 2 platoons in a company. Build up from scratch. Because, like I tell you, the first revolution was different. We had the rich people that were the ones to follow. Why? Because the rich people were feeling most of the pain. They were the ones paying most of the taxes. It was not an income tax, it was tax on what you spent. Okay? Nowadays, rich people get in trouble. The Fed just prints more money. So they're not affected. That's why we're going to have somebody that comes on. I don't know where. I don't know when destiny's going to bring this person to us. But it ain't nobody in D.C. But the harder they push, the more they come down on us, the sooner that person's going to come out. Okay? Could be our Joan of Arc. Who knows? Could you imagine Biden squeezing your... It's you then. Now what? It's not me. I'll tell you what. I never wanted to be the tip of the spear. I want to be the guy in the foxhole. Okay. In the Marine Corps, I never wanted to be a general. I wanted to be Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. I like being enlisted better. I just, I'm a Marine that's had enough. I mean, I'm finding out I can write lyrics to songs now that I've had enough. This is part of since we're not shooting yet, I need to do something to sit there and try to wake people up. But I just don't think it's me. I think that's not my destiny. Okay. But whatever you can do to spread the word, that person's out there. So, but being the tip of the spear, I'm not afraid to say it no more. This country is so lost its way so bad. I mean, Trump just saying that's the way it is. Oh, I'll sign an executive order and take away your First Amendment right to burn the flag. Like I say, whether I like it or not, you should be shamed for it. That should be your punishment. The society should shame you. Okay? Like being on welfare used to be being shamed. Now it's an entitlement. Okay? But illegals that burn the flag in this country, you're out of here, bitch. Immediately. They shouldn't be here in the first place. But anyway, DJ Price, say hi. Hi. I'm loving your painting on the wall. Who made it? It's not a painting, it's a tap. It's kind of not a towel. I guess you would call it a tapestry. But yeah, it's a beautiful scene. That's my retirement, okay? How much do you think I'll be dependent on the system when I'm living like that? I'm barely dependent on the system now. But when I get out there like that, the only thing is I'm not going to have a log cabin. I'm going to have a dugout. I'm going to have the horses and everything. I already got horses. But I'm going to have a dugout because this is the thing. You spend 5 or 6 months building a log cabin, or it's 5 or 6 months building a dugout. I can have me a hobbit house with 3 rooms in it. It's basically climate controlled. It's not hot. It's hot in the summertime. It's not too hard to heat it in the wintertime. Oh, I got it all planned in my head. So I may build a log cabin just to have that scenery, but yes. Take your glasses off. I can't, they're reading glasses. Then I can't see the chat. My husband and I say we're going to the woods. Oh, yeah. I tell you what, J99, have you ever been out west before? Have you ever been out in Wyoming? Have you ever been out in Nevada or Utah? Seen the salt flats? There's some wide open space there where you can get lost. Okay. But Anyway, I tell you what, things are going to get to a head. Okay, eventually everybody's line in the sand is going to get crossed. All right, and is Trump worse than Biden? He don't seem to care. I don't know. Where's he going to stop? The thing is, until he gets stopped and says, no, you can't do this no more, you got to give Intel back to you. We can't have 10% own 10% Intel. Because like I say, we can have legislation to make Intel the richest company out there. Then what about all these other companies? All of a sudden, like I say, is Trump basically saying, here, this is how I get my 10%? Remember 10% for the big guy? And remember, Hillary just had an interview not too long ago that said, yes, Trump is coming around to our way of thinking. Trump has come around to Hillary's. Trump has come around to Hillary's a thinking. No more promises he'll be a bringing. Everything's better in D.C. now. The list don't exist and the military's out. Trump has come around to Hillary. Hillary's a thinking. Yeah. Crazy time, huh? She said it, not me. He's starting to think like us. I know that sucked. Watch the short. It's better. It's got some music too. Gotta run. Time to eat. Be well, all. Hey, take care, Strictly Cycling. Like I say, you got to go through that first checkpoint. I want video. You were a major. A do. Nothing wrong with embarrassing yourself and entertaining people. It's the best way to entertain people is embarrassing yourself. Anyway, I'm going to come up with the whole song with music. Anyway, holy cow, 52 minutes already. It's amazing how time flies, but YouTube slammed down on this. But maybe I got a few subscribers tonight. So whatever. I'll get over that 1,000 subscribers mark. But anyway, I appreciate everybody being here. And I can't wait to see what the next thing Trump has done to save the world all by himself. It's getting hard to listen to, but everybody. Where's your red cap? I don't have a red cap. I'm a constitutional conservative. Yeah, I voted for Trump, but I don't see the United States through the Democratic or the Republican red lens, the Republican democracy red lens, or I don't see the country through the Democratic democracy blue lens. I see it through the founding fathers' clear lenses. Oh, Philip, are ya? Sonny, I think we need to get rid of Philip. Cycling kept up the good work. Take care. But anyway, well, Philip, I don't know. Maybe you have Joe Biden needs his diaper changed or something. This is room for trolls too. I don't want to think trolls are not welcome here. You need a room. You need a place too, and you're in danger too. And I would like that one day you can still troll me when we get all this settled. But right now you got to realize we're all in danger. So you might want to sit there and do something about it because your trolling may end if you don't realize. Anyway, whatever, guys. Anyway. Yep, life is great. I'm going to get out of here, everybody. Like I say, YouTube slammed down on this. And we'll see how everything goes. But I like the videos I put out today. I like it. You know you're doing the right job when you're pissing, when this poor, humble, simple man can piss off to the extreme. What the hell is that? To the extreme, a rich billionaire, to where he feels I need to be silenced. I've never seen those lights before out there. Anyway, so whatever. They can say he has nothing over my head. I live a simple, humble life and can't be bought. I can't be, how can you say it? Tempted by money, sex, drugs, all the power, pleasures of the flesh mean nothing to me. Because living a free life is more important. Okay? Pleasures of the flesh destroy you. Freedom makes you a better person. That's all there is to it. It doesn't destroy you. It makes you a greater person. The aliens are coming for you. They already came. They won't come for me no more. Haven't seen them for quite a few years, so I think they had enough of me. Anyway, yeah, Robert, check out my video on my alien abduction story. It's like from maybe 6 months ago. Check it out once. Might like it. YouTube don't like that one. Freedom is like-minded people for like-minded, and there's another thing. Freedom needs to be fought for. Freedom can never be taken for granted. When it's taken for granted, it'll be taken from you. It's always got to be ready to be fought for. Okay? And this is what this channel's about. Getting people to ready to fight for our freedom, our liberty, our pursuit of happiness, our Constitution, and your fellow Americans again. I am trying to keep you speaking. Have you seen? Oh, that Gaza thing? I tell you what. Don't worry, it's coming to this country. All the thing all governments do, all human beings do is destroy shit. And when you got crazy ass people in charge who like building weapons to destroy shit, they're just destroying shit and people. So how do we put an end to it? 3 or 4 million armed vets surrounding DC, not in DC, but surrounding DC, like Boston. And those 3 or 4 million training, running exercise, who's going to come after us? 4 million armed men? That's bigger than our military. That would send a message without shooting people. A message that we've had enough. Okay? And we have every right and, like you say, duty to throw off such government and replace it with new guards for our future security. That word duty to a Marine, that's an order from the founding fathers to me. What supersedes any order given to me by these bozos these days. Okay? I took an oath to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I don't have a choice to choose who I want to fight against. I took an oath to fight anyone who was an enemy of the United States and the Constitution. Okay? So it's time for the well-regulated militia again to get organized. And yes, I am being watched. I got informed by a neighbor today that I'm being watched because he's observed it. Anyway, that's the world we live in these days. And I don't give a shit. There'll be a shootout at the OK Corral. Because all it is, if they do come, it just proves I'm right now, doesn't it? I don't really give a shit anymore. Because I will not go to my knees. I will die on my feet. So anyway, yeah. Not even 1,000 subscribers, and I get a lot of special attention these days. Anyway, that's all the lone wolf prepper. That's all I got for tonight. This is Tom with Hidden Truths. I am out of here.